I've been working in the media and IP tech business for over 30 years in 5 countries across Europe and Asia. I love this space. The development has been extremely rapid, and I see no indications that this is slowing down. We seem to come up with new ways of accessing internet and content and information on a regular basis, and that's what makes this so exciting. There are still major regions, countries, areas, and parts of the population that lack basic access to internet and that really need a cost-efficient solutions. And that's why I'm excited to continue working and supporting Forsway. Not that I think I will be here in the next 30 years, but I do expect to hopefully be able to contribute in the next 10. Me and my wife, we love hiking, and we did the coast to coast walk this spring in the UK, which is 320 kilometers over 15 days, and that was amazing. I'd love to do it again sometime. And now we're looking forward to explore potentially Japan and France and do some hiking there. We would also like to start sailing again, something we did actually a couple of decades ago. And yes, I am that old, so it was actually a couple of decades ago. I think it's common knowledge that roughly 2.5 billion people on this planet lack basic access to internet. Uh, and there are many more that has either very slow access or patchy access. On top of that, we are seeing that's a development where some countries are imposing quite severe censorship of the access to information and access to internet. And all this contributes, in my view, to the digital divide, i.e. the difference between people who have unfettered access to information and the internet and people who has none or has limited access and therefore is looking through the keyhole, so to say. I've said it before, but I think it's worth repeating. My view is that access to the internet and information is a basic human right. And I think there are enough examples where to show that when you have that access and you have ability to get the latest knowledge and information, the development is accelerating and it offers everyone a better life. Some of the most obvious examples, I guess, is in schools and healthcare. I think it would be unthinkable today in the developed part of the world to have a school or a hospital or a healthcare institution to have no access to internet, and i.e. getting the latest information, getting help when needed, and so on. But in the developed part of the world, this is the reality in most schools and hospitals, and that is just something we need to fix. Yeah, another way of describing, the developed versus the developing part of the world is according to WHO, is the high income versus low and middle income countries. So if you want to deliver an internet service to low and middle income countries, you need a low or middle cost solution. And today, two-way satellite, fiber, 5G are all quite high cost solutions and are unsuitable outside the really big metropolitan areas where you could potentially find a business case for it. Some companies, of course, subsidize their equipment to be able to get the cost down to the end consumer. But we know this is a short-term fix and it doesn't address the long-term cost-benefit solution. And in my view, is therefore not a good solution for these markets and regions. Yeah, the internet product that Forsway delivers provides a cost-efficient way, utilizing existing infrastructure and delivers a robust connection that in majority of the cases is superior to other solutions, like, for example, low Earth orbit satellites, LEO satellites. I, for one, question the long-term business case of deploying tens of thousands of small satellites with very limited lifespans, roughly 4 to 5 years, that you will have to continuously deploy thousands of new satellites every year to even keep the service going. Forsway's product relies on geostationary satellites that last 3 to 5 times longer, and this is one of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why we can deliver this much more cost efficient to both small businesses and end consumers. I was actually one of the early investors in Forsway quite some years ago, so I've been fortunate enough to follow the company through its many iterations and changes that you go through as a company. And I feel we are now stronger than ever, and that the satellite infrastructure is now available to support many more business cases that the market requires, be it pure internet access for consumers, small businesses, healthcare and schools, or streaming services, which is becoming extremely important. As you know, 95% of all internet access and consumption is video. And also micro CDN, which is an interesting new business case that we are exploring. And this makes the space here extremely exciting, and I'd love supporting Tobias Forsell and the Forsway team to grow the company and help to connect the unconnected part of the world.